Hey guys, Tommy G, middle-aged millennial, and we are on the studio balcony here in the Gold Coast, as per usual. And this is going to shock the pants off you. We're going to have a session today with Matt Attanasio. Remember that guy? Yeah. Unfortunately for Matt, I've either been on flights or I've been a bit tardy or whatever in getting us connected up on FB Live for our, I haven't even thought of a name yet for our Thursdays, what we call them. Anybody who's got an idea on a name, please give it to us. We've got Mindful Monday, we've got Tune Up Tuesdays. Actually, we don't even have one for Wednesday. Matt has joined, so let's bring him into the virtual gym here in the studio. So, whoops, where are we? Let's get this going. Add, all right, add. We are Matt Attanasio, and we've got a session today, which is about, hey, Matt Attanasio is in the house. You can't hear me. Now can you hear
Can
me?
you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
That's better. Awesome.
All right, you got me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and I'm wondering whether you've got me through which device. I know which device, because otherwise I would hear you coming through here. Let me just switch, if I can, to the earpiece. I think it's going to be clearer for everybody to switch off Bluetooth on this phone, to switch off that one. And let's see if we can get this going on. Checking out my new, well, not new, but my Bose headset. All right, bring it. Come on, let's get ready to connect. Come on, connecting too. All right, so Matty.
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right. So, welcome back. It's good to see you.
Listen, I'm very excited because the last 24 and a half hours been crazy. I got a stomach virus or food poisoning, and it wasn't exactly fun.
Oh,
I
man.
lost about 5 pounds in 2 days, and so like 5 pounds on a guy like me is like 10 pounds on everybody else. So
Oh, well, it says Mr. 10% fat. Or what is your fat percentage?
probably around 12, but I don't
Not about
diet to,
12.
yeah,
Why is
but
that?
I don't diet like for competition. I eat
Right.
right just because I feel good, and I like to eat healthy, and I feel better that way. So
Okay, well that's kind of going to be a good platform to start to move into what we're going
yes,
to talk about today. But I've got a new toy coming my way too. Just talking about that, with a
cool.
company called iHealth,
Uh-huh.
and it integrates beautifully into one of the platforms online that I use that aggregates a lot of these devices and the stuff that I'm doing in the programs. But it's a scale that does do, your BMI, your fat percentage. It's using the bioimpedance, and I've got one already, which isn't working properly, um, from one of the other companies. This other one's won a whole lot of prizes for being really accurate, like those in-body $15,000-$20,000 scanners that you use, or sometimes you see in gyms.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. It's on its way. We're going to give that a test run because I'm going to be able to manage people through the cloud on that.
Oh,
Especially
nice.
the execs we're working with, will get this as part of the deal. Is the idea, and I'm going to be able to see their BMI every day. They get on there because it connects to the Wi-Fi. Their fat levels, their bone structure, muscle, all of these things. So anyway,
So
um,
cool.
yeah, very cool, man. Very cool. And we've got Peter Rouse in the house. We have Fawn. Hey there, Fawn. We got Royd. Man, everybody's joining.
Yeah,
So,
we'll get it going. Don't worry about it.
as usual, Matty,
We'll
you
get
get
it
them all
going.
into the studio. I got to say though, that the Rouster has been pulling a hell of a lot of views.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, man. But for people attending during the actual show, I think you and Western Murphy gives it a nudge now and then, but you get it cranking up there on the numbers, dude, when we're
Well,
going live.
we're gonna crank it up even more as we go here. It's been a while, and
Yeah,
for a multitude of reasons, but we're ready to go.
rock and roll, baby. All right, so
Yeah.
we're going to get back to basics, yeah? you and I had a chat about this. We thought, and of course, me being the expert in overcomplicating things sometimes, right? Because I get all excited about the tech and,
That's all right.
slicing those hairs, down to the end. But really, there's just some basic stuff you can do from an exercise point of view, at least, out of the many things that, eating, moving, sleeping, etc. You're our move specialist,
Uh-huh.
and we can keep it basic. And just one thing, and I'm going to hand it over to you. I grew up in that world of, firstly, at least becoming consistent with going to the gym. Big first
Right.
step. But, it's a reasonable step to get that in the morning. But as we learn, that's not exactly, it's kind of part of the deal. And it's not the only way to really get exercise to become an easy habit. So, firstly, why do we exercise? And let's define the scope of exercise. Why do we exercise? And really, how do we make this just part of life?
It's such a great question, and there was a portion where I missed some of what you said because you froze up. So I'll figure it out. But I think one of the things that we as trainers and people such as yourself and Peter and Ann, we're all trying to figure out how can we get people who are not understanding the value of being fit and healthy, how can we get them to understand what that value is? Does that make sense? How can the person who's not engaged in a physical fitness program, what can they do, but also why would they do it? Because a lot of times, I'm running an online program right now, and a lot of times we're talking about what is your goal, and your goal, whatever it is great, right? It's great to have a goal, but why are you doing it? What is it going to do for you in the short term and in the long term?
Yeah.
And listen, if you ever watched anything on TV, marketing wise, they don't necessarily just market the product or the service. They market a feeling. They market how you're going to feel when you use their product or service.
Right.
And so the product or service of exercise and eating healthy,
Yeah.
what is that feeling that you want? What are the benefits that you're going to get from using that particular product? And so I think the V word.
Don't forget the V word. What's the V word?
Listen, he'll throw stuff in there to off track us, but we're going to stay on track.
Pete's had a shit story. We know that.
Yeah. So here's the awesome part is that there are so many benefits to exercise.
Right.
And I think if we go through some of these individually, I mean, I have about 20 written down. We don't have to go through all of them, but I think the bottom line is this. Most people, if they can grasp how important it is for them to exercise and how it would rid themselves of a lot of the pain and suffering and feeling bad every day and not having enough energy and maybe becoming forgetful or their memory's going or their blood pressure's high or they don't get enough sleep. So if they can get rid of these things just by moving their body, by exercising, and it doesn't have to be some of these hour or 2 hour sessions. I think research has proven this, that if you can get 30 minutes to even 45 minutes of moving your body every day, and again, you don't have to do a marathon every day. You don't have to, what you need to do is you need to move. You need to get from a place of not doing anything to moving the body every day. And if you can do that, the cumulative effect over time, a little bit each day, will be so much more vast, one, and two, it's sort of this, it piles on, the effect just gets bigger and bigger in one, but more specifically and more importantly, it becomes part of your lifestyle. It's what you do. It's you go to work every day, it becomes a habit. And so the cool part is that let's go through some of these benefits of exercise, and hopefully people can grasp the fact that exercising, whether it's strength training, whether it's core training, yoga, whether it's walking or bike riding, it's all wonderful. Anytime you can get blood flow, oxygen, nutrients to the body, it's going to help you live a better, more quality life. So the thing is if you live a longer life, whatever that means for you, but it's not quality, the last 10 years, the last 15 years of your life are a struggle and you're barely living. That's not a great way to live. So let's talk about the benefits. Okay?
Yeah, please.
Now, number one, I think one of the biggest things that people are dealing with right now
Yeah.
is they don't have enough energy. I hear this all the time. They don't
Yeah.
have the energy, and I think a lot of
Right.
times there's a multitude of reasons for that, right?
Oh, and if I go and exercise, that's going to chew up more energy. Why would I do that?
Whoa, but think about this: if
Yeah.
you exercise, you are actually recharging, regenerating, electrifying your body, your muscles, okay? And what you're
Right.
doing is it's like when your phone battery goes down, when you
Yeah.
plug it in, it goes back up.
Yeah.
That's what exercise can do for people too. So it
Right.
increases and it boosts energy.
So,
There's
so
no, go ahead.
it's an adaptive type of things. Like, oh, I'm sure it's going to take a bit of short-term energy, but I'm going to build a bigger kind of capacity or a bigger battery or something. Or what's going on?
Yeah, well, yeah, because listen, your muscles are really important to charge up, and the only way they can charge is if you move them.
If you use them.
Yeah, you have to. You
Right.
can't if you're stagnant, just like
Yeah.
most things in life, if you're stagnant, you die quicker.
Right.
You have less
You
oxygen. You become
use it or lose it.
exactly. This is so simple and I don't want to make it complex because I want people to understand the value of exercise in terms of energy is non-debatable. It is
Right.
so important to bring and now if you have a day where you're going to exercise and you don't feel 100% energy wise, just go easier. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay.
Right.
Just
Right.
do what you can. Don't burn out your adrenal glands because somebody told you you got to go all out for 60
All that
minutes. But if
balls
you don't
in.
have it in you, just go. Do something. Go for a
Just
nice walk.
do
Clear.
move.
Yes.
Just
Move.
freaking
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
Right.
All
Okay.
right. Let's move on. Let's talk about this.
Right.
There's an epidemic, not only in the United States, but I'm sure a lot of these, I guess you'd say, first world countries, where depression is a big problem and people are on antidepressants. And there
Yeah.
are plenty of research, I mean, so much research to show that by exercising, going for a walk, riding a bike, doing some strength training, being in a group class session, having some one-on-one training, whatever it may be, the benefits to the brain and being an antidepressant, exercise alone is probably one of the best, if not the best, antidepressants you can buy that's free. You
Right.
just do it. It doesn't
Right.
cost you so much money, right?
Right.
Imagine that a free antidepressant. And
Yeah.
there are studies that shown that people have actually shown 60 to 70% decrease in use of antidepressants. They actually can either get off them or slowly but surely lower them down.
Man. Right.
And how great is that? So it's an amazing antidepressant. And I think when you exercise, because you have more oxygen and more blood flow and more nutrients going to the brain,
Yep.
of course it's going to work better.
Right.
So it's an amazing antidepressant.
Man.
Along with that,
And it's
it's
natural. I
a
mean, no one advertises that one, do they? Because they can't make any money out of it.
they
Yeah.
don't advertise it because
Sorry.
it's not sexy, to be honest with you. It's not about building a nice
Right.
butt or having
Well,
nice cleavage or having a six
right.
pack, right?
And if you do it and you're feeling better, you don't need to buy somebody's product. You don't need to buy something to make you feel that way. You
Right.
can just go and naturally do it, like you said. Right?
Yeah,
Your
and
own
it's just
body.
it's a great way to build up all those good hormones and good neurotransmitters in the brain.
Right.
I think it's another benefit is the stress reducer, the anxiety reducer,
Yeah. Oh,
because you let out some of the stress that you have. I mean, I
right.
had a session this morning and tonight with some people that you knew they were stressed, and
Right.
they literally said, "I feel much better today. I feel much better after the session."
Right.
Because and part of it was because we were doing some boxing, which is always a good thing, right?
Yeah.
But I think what it is that you let out some, yeah, exactly. You let out some
Yeah.
of that stress, as long as you don't overdo it, because there's a fine line between being truly stressed and then
Right.
overdoing the gym. So
Got it.
exercise, no doubt, will reduce your stress and anxiety.
Right.
I think there's no doubt it improves your cardiovascular function. If you go and you exercise on a daily basis, and you get that heart pumping, and its ability to pump out more blood per beat, that's a good thing, right? That's
Right.
exactly what we want. How much blood with oxygen can we pump out to the body and the nutrients so that our body will function better? and improving cardiovascular function and lessening the risk for some of these heart diseases that people can get is crucial. So exercise benefits your heart as well. And again, I think most people realize this, but are they taking the steps? And that's
Right.
critically important. So balancing your stress in and stress out is critical. And that's all about learning how your body feels. You know, I know for me, because I know my body, I know when I need to lower the volume. I know for me when I need to slow down and not go so hard.
Right.
And then I know when I have that energy because I've slept well and I've ate well. So that's also a big part of it, is knowing that fine line. And for some
Yeah.
people, it takes time to learn what that line is,
Right. And
to know
so,
when you're doing too much and not enough,
okay.
right?
So with the sleep thing, and one thing I'm sort of, I've learned kind of or not learned, but I've become more aware of, is that your day starts the night before.
Oh yeah.
Right, that going to sleep, like for me, 9:30, 10 a.m. And I've got, my Aura ring now because I'm regularly checking my sleep quality, REM,
Right.
and deep, and how much. When is my heart rate coming down for recovery? If it's not coming down to the second half of the night, that's not cool. You need it to come down in that first half of the night to get proper recovery stuff and all the right hormonal cleanup and everything else going on, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's now, as I check that each day, I'm sort of going, you know what, Tommy, get to sleep. And then I wake up a lot better, 99% of the time. The next morning, ready to go, right?
And you went into the sleep thing. There's no question that exercise helps you sleep better. No
Ah,
question about it. I know the fact for me is the reason why I get deep sleep, even though sometimes I only get 6 hours, which for a lot of people is not enough. For me, I've had 5 hours and I've been great, totally great. But it's the
right,
quality of the sleep. It's deep because if you exercise, it helps the body to rest at night because it's the chance for the body to shut down and to feel better. And I
right.
know for me, if I've gone any length of time without exercising, I've noticed my sleep isn't as good. And
Interesting.
typically, if I have a good balance of exercise and other things, good nutrition, I'll fall asleep a lot easier. Plus, I also count my wins and some of the other things that we do for the mindset part, you know. But
Yeah,
there's no doubt that you get to sleep better when you exercise. I
right.
think there's a total huge aspect of longevity. I don't
Oh,
remember
it's
the exact
huge.
study,
Yep.
but there was a study done, and maybe Peter knows, and he could bring it up maybe next Tuesday. But there was a
Yeah.
study done that showed that it could literally, exercising on a daily basis could, I think they said 50 minutes a day or 150 minutes a week. So that's
Yeah.
3 sessions of 50
Yep.
minutes a week or 4 sessions of 40 minutes. That would lengthen your life, quality of life, by 7 years. That's a pretty good amount of time. Seven
That's
years
good.
is pretty damn good. So
Right.
I think the value of exercise in and of itself, in terms of length of living and quantity, as well as quality, is really important to understand. And so if you can add 7 years of your life by moving your body on a daily basis,
Yeah.
that's a tremendous thing to do. Um,
So,
you know,
so just on that then, Matty.
yeah.
So, let's refer to a couple of other things apart from the study. Dan Buettner's book, The Blue Zones.
Hmm.
Pretty well, lots of us, most of us know that book. And when he went and studied, it's Costa Rica, Sardinia, Okinawa off Japan, and Loma Linda, and which one am I missing? Ikaria in Greece. And so he's got five, actually, blue zones. And what the common thread was that these people were active throughout the day. They were
Yes.
using their legs, not to blow my own sunshine out of my proverbial here, but I don't own a car here. There is actually a light rail downstairs that goes to most places, but I'm forcing myself, incidentally, to use my feet a lot more,
Yeah.
right?
Well, listen, you and I have talked about this. If
Yeah,
you take 30 minutes in the morning, you go to the gym and you work out, that's great. But
right,
during the day, when you're going to other places, are you driving to each spot? Do you park?
right,
I know it sounds. Do you park 10 feet
right
from the
near.
from the door?
Yeah,
I never park.
spend half an hour finding that car park.
Exactly. I always park far away. I always
Right,
park far away. Just because I like to walk. I
right,
like to. It's funny. I was just in by the trains in New York City and all that stuff. I never ever ever take the elevator or the escalator. I always take the stairs.
right.
Always. It's
Yep,
to me it's fun. It's
Yep.
fun to actually go every other step up the staircase instead of taking the
Right.
escalator. So, and that's not to boast. It's just to say to me, an active lifestyle is what makes me feel youthful. It's what
Right.
brings about a youthfulness that I can
Yep.
still play. I can literally still play as a 51-year-old person. That
Right.
I am far from a 51-year-old person compared to the majority of people. And again, that's because I like to move my body. I like to run around. I like to play. And
Right.
there are plenty of people way older than me that do the
Yeah.
same. And
Yeah.
there's no question that doing those little things will benefit you.
Right.
So
It.
go ahead.
Yeah. No. Look. It's easy. It's actually easy. You that small little decision to make, but if you make it a habit, where it's yeah, do I park close? Like you said, do I take the stairs or take the lift? Do I walk there or do I jump on the bus, grab the car? And that's usually painful getting the car because then you got to drive the actual car. You got to park the damn thing. You got to pay for that,
Yeah.
right? And coming back to if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. And if you want to live a long and healthy life, I mean, I've heard it from different podcasts, different people I'm interviewing. How many times just move,
Yeah.
comes into their number one, number two, maybe number three for leading a longer and healthier life.
Yeah, and I know you know about this, and we can briefly talk about a little bit about it, but there's no question that when you move your body and you exercise, you increase blood flow, you increase oxygen, you improve the ability to utilize your lymphatic system to get rid of toxins, you improve brain function. All
Yeah,
these things actually make you feel and look younger.
right,
Now,
right.
not only that, but you are younger on a biological level. So when you talk about telomeres, they've shown
Yeah,
through research that exercise can keep your telomere length to where it should be to feel and to be younger, right? So
right.
as you get older, your telomeres, which are strands at the end of the DNA,
Yeah,
they shorten in your lifespan.
yeah,
So if you can
yeah.
exercise and move every day, these telomeres, which are indicators for length of life, can lengthen. True?
Right. Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
basis. I mean, there's a lots of things you can do around this, and it's becoming key.
Yeah.
But exercise is one of the ones where you're building on the telomere, or you're reducing the shortening speed as cells divide.
Yeah.
Pete might have a word to say on this one too. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I think he might have talked about it on Tuesday, but I'm not sure.
yeah.
I think one of the other things too that I
Sorry,
except for
indirect. Yeah, I know where that's being shot at.
I know exactly where that's going. But I agree with that, by the way.
Yeah. Well, look, and so do I. Okay, guilty as charged.
No, it's okay. But here's the
Right.
thing. You
Yeah.
know, one of the things that people want to do, and it's talked about a lot an aesthetic level, right? On aesthetic
Yeah.
level is
Right.
they want to lose body weight or body fat. And there's no
Right.
question that exercise, specifically strength training, but also some cardiovascular work, will help the body to burn fat. It's just
Right.
it's not even a question. It's proven through research, it's proven through science, it's proven through the anecdotal evidence that when people exercise every day or at least 4 or 5 times a week and eat good, you lose body fat. Okay, and
Yeah.
I'm being very general. There's other aspects possibly too. But so if you want to build some muscle, and if you want to lose some body fat, if you want to have a better structure and you want to increase your metabolism, you need to move every day or at least 4 or 5 times a week.
Right.
So the accumulative effect benefits the body. So
Right.
I'm a huge believer that if you want to look better physically speaking, you have to exercise. You have to move your body. It's just pure and simple. Um, you know,
There's so many benefits. I mean, it's
yeah,
just not just burning fat at that time, but like you said, your energy starts to increase. You'll have a better sleep. You get those, I think, for movement, endorphins, I think is the one. Hormones
yeah.
start pumping through your body to make you feel better. If you're feeling better, I mean, there's a domino effect that happens in so many facets of your life, right?
Yeah, no
So
question.
it's benefits are countless. So, okay,
Yeah, and
sorry.
one of the things that I think a lot of people don't think about, but I see a lot, and because I've worked with so many different types of populations. I've worked with 6-year-olds up to 80-plus-year-old people. But I have people, and I've worked with people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s that their posture is really, really bad.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
And when I talk about posture, I'm not talking about somebody who has a genetic type situation, although I
Right.
fixed that too.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: posture is critically important to the functioning of your body. And
Right.
people can have poor posture for numerous reasons. Some of it could be physiological, functional, structural, functional. Okay, things that maybe that happen when they were born is, scoliosis, things like that. But it's also for weakness in the spine, weakness of the spinal muscles. It also, frankly, is a mental thing. If you lack
Right.
confidence, if you're in a place in life where you're sort of down and you're slumping and your mental capacity is lower and you're in this sort of depressed state, your posture is going to go down. Now,
Right.
the cool part about exercise and strength training specifically is that
Yeah.
you can make your posture better. I
Huh.
I remember I trained a woman that was 72 years old,
Wow.
and she was in a position where she had severe kyphotic thoracic. This is so this
Oh,
part of her back.
that sort of
Oh
hunchback
yeah,
thing.
she was very
Right.
hunchback,
Right.
and I told her, I said, listen, I guarantee you that if you and I work together for 6 to 12 months, okay,
Right.
you will be taller. And I'm telling you, this is no lie. This has got to be 12, 13 years ago. And I worked with her 3 times a week, and we worked on her nutrition, and we worked on her stretching and her strengthening. And I'm telling you, no lie, she grew an inch and a half.
Whoa.
Now, some people will like, there's no way. I'm telling you, we measured. And what it becomes is when you get blood flow, oxygen, you strengthen, you get movement, you get flexibility, you get more elasticity in the body. You can lengthen. I had another woman who she was around 61, 62,
Yeah.
and she had severe scoliosis where she had a lot of rotation of the spine, and she was with me 3 times a week, and she also went to a chiropractor, a really good one. And what she did was she literally, in about a year and a half, unrotated, like she had extreme rotation. I think it was like she unrotated, if that makes sense, her spine like 2 to 3% or 2 to 3 degrees. It was a very significant amount from doing strength training, from getting some chiropractic work. So what my point is exercise can help improve your posture, which therefore has an effect on all the organs of your body, all the muscles in your body, the electrical system, because you have to remember your spine
Yeah.
is what protects your nerves and your spinal column and your
Right.
nerves.
Right.
And so if you want to have better nerve conduction, more electricity, when you have taller and a more upright posture, your body
Yeah.
works better. It
Right.
just does. So when you strength train, you always want to strength train in good posture alignment. It's critically
Right.
important. So
Interesting.
there's my spiel on posture.
Posture.
Um,
Okay. And then
yeah,
sitting down, all day, if I look at some of the execs, let alone just anybody that's a white collar worker, right? They're just not doing labor work, which is probably going to be
yeah,
healthier for them, depending what they're doing. But the thing being that you're moving different things throughout the day. And,
uh-huh.
there's a lot of talk going on now, and there's studies starting to come out about sitting down becoming the new smoking. And we know how many people have died from smoking. Finally, industry had to take the hit, and it was basically related to cancer and all these other things.
Mhm.
They're saying sitting down is doing the same thing for circulation, cancer, abdominal stuff,
Of
heaps of things.
course.
To sitting down too long. So keep moving, keep standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down. Go for that walk throughout the day, and you're gonna have better performance at work as well. Anyway,
Yes. And if you think about it, anything in life that has some stagnancy, that doesn't move, that doesn't have circulation, what happens eventually? Quicker. It
well,
dies.
you're gonna die. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no form of oxygen flow. There's no form of
Right.
of
There's no form
energy.
of life happening there. It's
Yeah,
like,
there's no drainage of metabolic waste, and so
right,
you have this accumulation of toxicity and acidity, and all of a sudden the body
right,
starts to shut down, and
right,
you know, eventually things you get calcified, and just things shut
right.
off,
You
and so
don't
that's why
use it, you're going to lose it.
exactly. So let's
Yeah.
think
All
about
right.
let's go. One of the big ones, I got like 20 of them, but we don't have to do them all. I
Sorry.
think one of the biggest things for me is strength training and exercise in general, no question about it,
Yep.
reduces the risk of injury.
Yep.
It's,
Right.
there are so many people that, and this is kind of strange, and I've talked to a ton of people and read a ton of stories, but there have been people who have been in car accidents
Yeah.
that literally doctors have said to them, if you weren't exercising,
Yeah.
honestly, because the person was probably stronger than the average person, you might have had a lot worse injuries. May not even be here right now. I've
Wow.
heard those stories.
Wow.
Now,
Yeah.
am I saying you should exercise so you avoid dying in a car accident? No. But my point is there's a value to exercising and strengthening your muscles, strengthening your joints, strengthening your ligaments, strengthening your tendons, strengthening your nervous system,
Yep.
right? Your balance system, your coordination to prevent injuries that
Right.
potentially could happen. And
Right.
by doing exercise in a space where you're out in the open, where you don't like, and I for some people I guess it's okay. I'm not a huge fan of treadmills with those handrails. They're there for
Oh, yeah.
safety, I get it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
there's some value to actually moving your body in space because
Right.
your nervous system has to pick up certain things proprioceptively to get feedback to how to balance yourself and right yourself. And
Yep.
so when you are in better shape, you can control your body better. You
Yep.
can protect yourself from falling. All right, and
Right.
even if you do fall, the issue, the potential problem may not be as bad. So I
Yeah.
think exercise, and listen, I've trained so many athletes over the years that them strength training and doing specific routines is so beneficial that they've prevented so many injuries. And
Yeah.
knock on wood, one of the biggest injuries we found in sports, with women mostly, but a lot of men too, is anterior cruciate ligament tears, ACL
Right.
tears.
It's still right.
Yeah, not a fun injury. It's 9 to
Yeah.
12 months of brutal recovery,
Right. It's
but
like Ann Shivers has had two of those.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the thing is if you train properly, you train right as an athlete, even
Yeah.
as an everyday person, you will lessen your chance. And there's not one person that I've trained, thank God, that had an ACL injury, and I've trained thousands of athletes. And
Right.
that's not tapping and patting myself on the. What it is that if you do the right things and if you train properly, we all as everyday people can prevent injuries. We can have less back issues. We can have less neck issues, less shoulder issues, as long as you're doing it properly.
Right.
Let's finish up with a couple more. Let me ask you,
Mm-hmm.
somebody who's been an exercise guy most of your
Yep.
life. When
Second
you
half.
exercise, do you feel like your mood is better?
Oh, totally. Every time I'll
Yeah.
come away, and sometimes I'm going in and I'm thinking, you know what, I really don't want to do this right now.
Right.
And yeah, there's times when perhaps it's not a good idea to do it. And I use like heart rate variability to indicate, and my aura
Right.
ring will tell me, dude, take it easy today. And then I'll
Right.
forgive myself and go, you know what, I will, rather than being an emotional thing. And that's what I've got to work out. Is it good for me to still go and exercise or not, number one? But number two, actually, every time I
Mm-hmm.
have actually, whether it's the dopamine or whichever it is in my head, I feel better. I feel more alive. I
As you freeze
feel more
up.
settled. I feel I can be more in the zone. And I just need to start moving. It doesn't even need to be huge effort. I just
No?
need to move. I just need to start moving,
Mm-hmm.
and it's good.
Yeah.
So yes,
Well,
long-winded yes.
yes, and you know what? I think there's no question that when you exercise and you move your body, that brain fog can go away. Muscles wake up.
Yep,
Your nervous
yep,
systems wake up. Your
yep,
lungs wake up. And
yep.
all of a sudden, you just start to feel better. Why? Because you have a flow, an energy flow. And so I think a lot of times people don't understand the value of just actually getting out and going for a good brisk walk or
Right,
going for a bike ride or going for a jog or going for a hike or going doing some calisthenics, some jumping jacks, some basic squats, some push-ups, some simple things. Running around your. I've trained people in their house with no equipment, right? and we'll run up and down their stairs. We'll do stuff in their kitchen. We'll do stuff in their living room. We'll do stuff on their floor. I mean, we sometimes you make up stuff because that's all you have is you just
Right.
have their body. But there's
Right.
so much you can do with your own body, and you just feel better. You
Right.
literally turn on
You do.
the better mood button by exercising.
Yep.
And it doesn't
Yep.
have to be for an hour. Just do 15, 20 minutes, and oh my God, you start to feel better.
Right.
So if you want
So
to elevate your mood, move your body.
move. Get out
Totally.
and move. And
Yeah.
that's just one benefit. I mean, there's also a whole lot of other great things that are happening in your body there and then, right? As you're going through
Sure.
right now, right? All of them.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's move, 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 move. You want to have a long and healthy, optimized life? Move regularly, not
Yes.
1 hour at the gym and the rest of the day sitting on your ass in a chair, right?
Yeah, it's I think if we want to sort of wrap things up, I think what this is all about, you're gonna look better physically speaking when you
Yep.
exercise, especially if it's done on a consistent basis. And you and I
Yeah.
know this formula: simplicity plus consistency plus patience will give you the results. Because
Right.
if you do the things every single day, little by little, over time, it will build up, right?
Compounding
So.
interest.
Exactly. So the quality of your life will be better.
Yeah.
There's just something about feeling strong. There's something about being stronger. And when I say strong, I don't just mean like physically. I mean mentally, emotionally. You can
Yep.
handle your day better.
Yes.
You have a more neutral place. You can
Yep.
diverge and get away and just kind of deal with things better. You can
Yep.
neutralize better because you've had your body exchange oxygen and blood flow and
That's
nutrients
it.
throughout it. And what happens is you have a better shot at taking on the stresses of your everyday because that's just the way the body works. It's a trained machine, right?
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
do it every day, a little
Yep.
bit,
Yep.
that's all you got to do, right?
Just
A little bit every
little
day.
bits. That's it. It's little bits of exercise throughout the day. And I know some of us, me included,
Yeah.
but we'll get focused on something. And my brain and the ego and the addiction, and I think my phenotype, according to PH 360, which I use as a
Uh-huh.
framework, is predisposed, they call it the Crusader, my health category, to being fixed on the dopamine production and achievement. And so I'll sit there and I'll want to get that thing done. I'm not going to
Yeah.
move. I'm going to be for an hour, 2 hours, because we're known to be able to go long on that stuff as well.
Right.
But I've got to have the higher level of awareness to go, Tommy, get off the dopamine, dude. Take a chill pill because you're bigger than that and move. Get more activity moving through the day. So I've been instilling that not only, because I trained for endurance, in the past, a lot more than I do today. Now I'm
Mm-hmm.
lining up on it. I participate in those events at the speed that I like to. I don't train as hard as I used to, but I'm getting more into sitting down, standing up. Let's go for a walk. Let's go and do the beach walk. Let's go and have a hit of tennis. Make it fun. It doesn't have to be
Totally.
just the other stuff, right? I mean, it can be competitive sports, and Ann Shivers kicking my ass in squash or something, being the athlete that she is. Tennis, whatever it is, make it fun. Make it a part of your day. Stitch it in and make it
Totally.
automatic. Put it in the timetable. Put it in the calendar, right?
Well,
So, yeah, man.
exactly. Some people are very oriented towards scheduling, and
Yeah.
and that's cool. That if
A lot
that
of my execs are that
yeah,
way, right?
if you're around, you're a schedule person, or if you're the type of person who is sort of winging things, you kind of let things go and let's see how the day goes, and you play the reactive game. I think if you start becoming proactive and you start putting yourself in a position where you schedule your workouts and you abide to them, I think what will happen is it'll become part of your everyday life. But it has to be a conscious thing that you do every day.
Right.
And as your executives or anybody who sticks by a schedule, they know that when you're locked into a schedule and you're locked into everyday thing, it becomes part of your life. If you're just going throughout your day hoping the time will be there, or let's find out, well, maybe later I'll be able to do it, or you put it off till it's some other, trust me, it will not happen
Yeah.
unless you are truly disciplined. If you're as disciplined I don't schedule my workouts because I'm disciplined. I've done this for a long time, and I've
Yeah.
consciously had to.
It's automatic.
Yeah, that I don't have to schedule. And not everybody's like that. But you know what? If you have to schedule it, you make a schedule and you put it in
Right.
there,
Yeah.
and don't make excuses. I
Absolutely.
was reading something today. You can live through courage, or you can live through comfort. You can't choose either, both. It has to be one or
Right.
the other.
Right.
And having courage to move your body and to give your body what it deserves, to give your mind what it deserves, what your heart what it deserves. Your soul wants to move too. It
Yep.
doesn't want to sit still all day long. It
Yep.
wants to move. And so the
Yep.
critical part about this is you want to include all aspects, the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, and utilize it. You brought up a great point, and we talk about this a lot. I don't care if it's tennis, I don't care if it's bike riding, hiking, squash. If you go in, listen, there are times where I'm literally, if I'm sitting on my computer recording a training or doing something or work for an hour or 45 minutes, I literally get up, I'll do 10 squats, 10 push-ups, and 10 jumbo jacks. And I
Right.
just feel, and it just to get blood going, and then I'll go
Right.
back to work.
Bang.
Oops,
Right.
nice.
Whoops. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
getting all excited
um,
here.
here we go. But and I think about the different types of life people have, and as you said, some need a calendar, especially the exec, because they're very busy, and their assistants are driving their calendar a lot of the time. They need to stick it in there. Even Pete. Look, Pete's not working at the moment. He's having a chill poo while he's got his beautiful little baby, and he wants to spend time with her, and he's in a position to be able to do that and not work. He's still got to schedule things into his day to make sure that they get done. You and I, it sits in the back of our head.
Absolutely.
And I know Pete's to a degree as well. It just sits there
Yeah.
knowing, it's been the old, have I worked out? Now I'm sort of changing that language a bit to say, have I been moving today and regularly, right?
Right.
You've just got to, it's such that quick fix, quick buzz, impatient way of life that has been built unhealthily today. It's at an unhealthy level that, do this and get buzzed now. Now, you can actually do that. Once you start moving, that doesn't happen. But the benefits beyond that are massive.
You
You
know,
know?
what is the total? There's 160 hours in a week or something. What is that they say?
Was that 7 twos,
Yeah, yeah,
140, 20, 168 hours?
yeah, yeah. Okay. Listen,
We
how
all
many
have
of
the same
those? How
amount of
many?
time, by the way. We all
How
have
many of those
168 hours.
168 hours are people,
Yeah,
God forbid, watching you and I right now, that
yeah,
could be exercising? How many
yep,
people between the TV and social media,
yeah,
right? Those two
yeah.
things. Forget everything else. The TV and social. You add that up. How many of that 168 hours is taken away from stuff that honestly doesn't mean anything,
Doesn't
doesn't matter,
serve them.
doesn't make your life any better?
And
If
maybe it makes it
anything,
worse.
yeah, we won't even go there. But the
Yeah,
bottom line is this.
TV.
Let's just say that you watch an hour of TV a day,
Oh,
right?
God.
And
Yeah,
let's say you watch an hour and you do an hour of Facebook a day. That's 2 hours a day, right?
yeah, yeah.
So that's 14 hours a week.
Right.
That's, if you think about it, that's a long time.
That's a lot of time, and this compounding interest thing, it adds up
Yeah.
either in a negative direction and gets you down that spiral, or spirals you up if you're using it positively. Now, I just want to put a finer touch on what you said because, I'll watch the TV recreationally for a certain amount of time, perhaps because I want to watch a movie and it's a social experience because I'm
Sure.
with, a loved one,
Yeah.
friend, whatever. Or it's a documentary, or it's just a great movie. But watching all the other media bullshit that's on there, right? To
Exactly.
sell shit and program your brain, not interested. Right?
Exactly. Well, there you go.
Go on.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. People are living lives, honestly, they are so stressed out that
It's an escape.
it is a total, I need to see dumb shit, pardon the expression,
Yeah.
to
To wind down.
wind, and I think about it, I'm thinking to
Just,
myself,
just like Pete's comment, sorry, about me having a bottle of wine. I don't know if it was a bottle of wine, Pete, maybe 1 or 2 glasses, which apparently is okay for me. No alcohol is good. Sorry to interrupt, Maddie, but
that's okay.
Pete, you'll be happy to know that I do agree that no amount of alcohol, any, is good for you. But some of us genetically can 1 to 2 glasses a day is fine. There's not an issue. And you do get a little bit of resveratrol, although probably not enough compared to a supplement. Okay, fine. Back to you, man.
Throw that in there, man. Hey, listen,
Yeah.
I'm okay with a glass of wine here and there. I don't think there's
Yeah.
anything wrong with it. I think. Listen, there are people who do way worse things, and I'm sure
Oh,
there are definitely issues with too much drinking or alcohol of any kind, just like too much sugar, just like too much anything else, too much processed foods, et cetera, et cetera.
if look,
But
the blue
how
zones.
many
Go on.
how many
You go on.
people are getting too much exercise?
Oh, there's the other one, right? There's the other side.
Not
This is
very
actually,
few.
do you reckon? Well, very few, but it does exist. The situation we have too
Oh,
much exercise.
listen, I've been around the gym world for a long time, and I've had
Yeah.
people who are exerciseaholics, and that's just as bad. What I'm
Mm.
saying is, you will rarely find somebody dying at a young age from too much
It's
exercise
exercise, true.
and too
Yeah.
much quality food.
Right. Yeah.
But I can guarantee you the people who exercise and eat quality food are living a better life, a quality of life, and being able to do things physically and mentally because they are eating better and they are moving their bodies.
Yeah.
And so, you know, sometimes we have to reverse things. We have to flip the switch, right? We have to say,
We
okay,
do.
maybe I need to lessen the boob tube
Yeah.
and I need to increasing the mental capacity and the physical capacity.
Right.
And if you are so and drenched in your TV show, how about exercising and watching it? How about doing some exercise and watching your show at the
Oh,
same time, right?
treadmills at the stand-up desk, even not only just
Yeah,
standing up, but you're on the. There's a lot of those that are starting to pop up now. Everything in moderation,
yeah, of course.
including moderation. And a
Yeah,
glass of wine. I mean, if you take Dan Buettner's book again, the Blue Zones, for example, they were leading long and healthy lives, and they were drinking a couple of glasses of Chianti or whatever if it's in Sardinia per day. But the benefits, net benefit too, even though it wasn't really negatively affecting, it was 1 to 2 glasses, hopefully by biodynamic wine, right? So they know actually that it wasn't treated by
yeah,
glyphosate, whatever else possibly, right? And it was
exactly.
lower than the addictive amount of alcohol that's put into alcohol these days at around 14-15% in wine. I can get one here, an organic wine, organic from France, less than 10%. And it's got a nice little bit of effervescence, beautiful, favorite for, watching the sun go down. But the social aspect in that is
Hmm.
actually a net benefit in the end, and other things that happen around it. So let's
Yeah,
not go crazy down the other extreme, but most of us, way down the other end of the scale. To which point, I'm
right.
going to say, haven't got the time? Bullshit. We all
Exactly.
have the same amount of time. What you're saying is you're not making it a priority,
And
right?
and and yes. And here's the thing. How much value are you placing on your health? Are you placing on this beautiful, amazing piece of machinery and God given, creator given, however you want to look at it, tube of muscles and glands and that can bring about such amazing things on a daily basis that you're corroding and you're corrupting by not moving, by eating bad food. So you're taking this amazing piece of machinery that you've been given and listen, there are people who listen. Nobody wants to die a quick death, right? Nobody
No.
wants. But here's the bottom line: we know at some point we're eventually going to die. But I can tell you this:
Well, that could change in our lifetime.
yeah,
Yeah.
you are the person that's going to indicate and dictate how quick and how bad it's going to be.
Yeah.
And to think that we know now that genetics don't necessarily play as big a role as we were once told,
No.
that you can change this genetic code that you supposedly got that
Well,
might
the
be
expression, the
the
expression of the
expression of
genes that
that.
you have. Yeah.
Yes, yes. You can change that code by exercising more and reducing stress and eating better, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So the key is everything's here for you waiting. Everything's right here, and you have the power within yourself to make your life a better quality life through exercise and
Yep.
eating better and
Yep.
hydrating and
Sleeping better,
managing your stress.
recovering better.
Totally. And
Yeah.
so the quality of your life is better. So you don't have to feel tired, listless, you don't get enough sleep, you're eating bad foods, you have cravings, you have disease of some kind. These things don't have to be, and they're all in your control. So what value are you placing on this beautiful thing that you got,
Yeah.
unfortunately, for free?
Yeah.
Sounds crazy,
Yeah.
but we need to learn to take care of ourselves because ultimately speaking, we always can't rely on a doctor. We can't rely on science sometimes. We have to rely on looking in the mirror and say, I'm responsible for me. I need to eat better. I need to
Yep.
exercise more.
Yep.
It's up to me,
Yep.
not when I go to the doctor and he gives me this shot or this
Yep.
drug. It's
Yeah.
not about
To
getting
fix
you
the
healthy.
symptom. To fix the
Right. It's
symptom.
never about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always going to be up to me. And I think the more empowered people can be around moving their bodies, the better off they're going to be. Right?
Yep.
The period.
Totally.
End of story.
And end of story. You've got to take responsibility for it. You can't ignore it. And
Yes.
getting educated then puts the responsibility back on you. If you weren't aware before that Kentucky Fried Chicken or whatever it is, or McDonald's was good for you, now you know, and you know what to do. Now it's back on you to start to make the decisions, and they're not that tough. I'm not saying go and bust out, a whole bunch of sets in 1 hour in the gym.
Right.
Saying get regularly moving throughout your life. Today it's about that, right?
Yeah.
Eating, moving, sleeping. I mean, you said it, right? So
Manage that stress. Absolutely.
absolutely,
Cool.
right? Okay, brother.
That's a
Thanks,
good
Matty.
that's a good welcome back.
It is. Welcome back, man. Right back in that passionate zone. Great to see. Thanks for accommodating my lack of planning during my weeks over the last 3 or 4. Thursday got a big hit, and we've missed you.
Well,
So,
I miss
yeah.
doing this, and I'm glad that I did everything I could after my Monday afternoon and Tuesday afternoon sudden sickness, my food poisoning or whatever you want to call it. That was not
Right.
fun. So I
Yeah, I
recovered
bet.
fast. I
You
had
did.
my ginger tea and some other things, some aloe vera for the gut, some other things, and
Bit of
I'm feeling good.
curcumin for the inflammation.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing.
Okay. It's a beautiful thing. All right, man.
Cool.
Great to have you back. So remember, Maddie, to enjoy life right here, right now,
Move.
today, and move. All right,
Absolutely.
guys. Oh,
Move
yeah, last Thursday
Thursdays.
was the Facebook crash. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. All right, guys. Move Thursdays. Maybe that's it. Moving and grooving Thursdays.
Moving and grooving.
Moving and
Training.
grooving. There we go. Training Thursdays. Oh, no,
Well,
moves.
nah.
Even though it doesn't rhyme, it kind of
Yeah,
works. We'll
we'll
work
get
it.
it.
We'll
Yeah.
work it. Okay. Anybody got any suggestions? Please send them to Maddie and I. We're struggling with
Yeah.
this one. All
We're
right,
not
Maddie.
struggling. Come on now.
All right. Language. See,
We'll get it.
I need a bit of a corrective maneuver now and then.
It's all
All
right.
right,
We'll get
man.
it.
We'll get it. We're getting there.
Awesome.
See you in the next one, buddy.
Take
Bye,
care.
guys.
See ya.
Okay.